Good. First things first, what we doing here? Settings, turn off comments. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I know for the past, what's today? Wednesday? Past couple of days, a lot of allegations, a lot of people saying certain things, a lot of people making remarks. It's all good, you know? People have the right to feel how they feel about situations, and I understand this is a sensitive situation. And people always know, like, when something happens, Africa's always the first one to run and talk about it. But me personally, I have to gather my thoughts because I've been dealing with this since March. Yeah, I've been dealing with this since March, around my birthday weekend. And, it's a hurtful situation. The accusations are harsh. I'm still trying to get my mind right with all these crazy things and allegations, But that's just the way life is, I wasn't going to do this. Like, I was not going to do this because I don't owe anyone anything because I see what life is for. But out of me just being the person I am, I will come on Instagram and state my piece and say what I have to say and move on until it gets where it has to get to. Okay? I have never been arrested. I was never charged with anything. The DA and the detective did their full investigation, and they never pursued with my case. Let's get that out the way. They never pursued with my case. Anyone knows where there's anything of allegations with child, ACS get involved, they got to do what they got to do. So there's no criminal case against me because there was no evidence to pursue no case. Detectives came, they interviewed me, interviewed my family, they interviewed my daughter, her mother, her cousin, and did what they had to do. Compare everything they do. They figure out what they have to figure out, and that was that. They ran my name in the system. It was nothing against me. Been arrested once in my life when I was younger, and I was sealed. Can't speak for other parties. They got to figure out their situation, what they have. But these allegations, get down to these allegations of my daughter stating that I did something to her. The mother stating that I raped my daughter. Never will that thought come in my mind to do something like that. Never. She made allegations. It is what it is. As a father, you try to protect your kid in all walks of life. So, quick background story. My daughter been advanced from young. She never used to live with me. She lived with her mother. Wherever they lived at, the mother used to complain. I used to be like, why she's doing certain things. I don't know. I'm not there. Financially, I was always there. Being a person that was there all the time, I can say I wasn't, but financial is always there. But I guess by the time I got to her, it was too late. You get what I'm saying? She started doing certain things. She left the Bronx, moved to Brooklyn, was staying with me and my family in our household. School kept calling, your daughter's doing this, your daughter's doing that, X, Y, and Z. One situation, like I said, I can't speak about certain things. One situation where it got crazy. School call, your daughter's doing X, Y, and Z. And there's stuff about her all over the school, which is embarrassing, right? So I try to analyze it. I'm like, I don't understand what y'all telling me. My daughter's doing what? Like, it didn't make sense to me, right? So still lost and puzzled. This is in February. They call back again. Same issue again. So it's like, it's crazy. So as everything went down, I'm like, this is crazy. So I start talking to my daughter about this situation. I'm still lost trying to explain. So I reached out to the mother. Do you know your daughter's doing these things? The mother said, I've been trying to tell you X, Y, and Z, right? So as I understand, I'm like, okay, let me see what's up with these situations that she's been trying to tell me of what's going on, right? And this was the first thing she showed me. If that lady wasn't Serenity. If that lady wasn't my aunt, Serenity ass would have been in trouble, and my ass would have been in jail, and nothing from you, Will. So let's not forget the first incident before this shit. This is February 9th. She needs to deal with the embarrassment. She caused herself in school, and I wouldn't let her out of high school, blah, blah, blah. I will talk to her after class. Okay. That's one situation, right? Trying to figure things out. Spoke to my daughter, and moving on. Another situation happened again where she's still not listening. School call again, your daughter's doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yo, I got to put a stop to this. Whatever. Came home, spoke to her. She ain't like the way I spoke to her. She ain't like the way I dealt with her. It is what it is. Move on from there. My daughter's birthday was February 20th. So if I did something on the 9th, we had a birthday, we hanged out. Trails. I showed the detective everything in my phone. Everything. Because you're going to go and tell them that after I did what I did to you, you couldn't speak to me or talk to me, but there's trail messages of us having conversation. You get what I'm saying? So I was kind of confused, right? Now, here where everything goes left and where I would say what I have to say. Me and my daughter mother have a rocky relationship for whatever reason. Whatever she has against me or Phil, it is what it is. Sometimes we cool, sometimes we not. Sometimes she bash me, sometimes she don't. You know, it is what it is. Like, prime example, you know, we could do with this right here. I'm gonna show y'all right here. Boom. There we go. It's crazy. Right here. We going back and forth. This was when everything really trickled back. Don't forget that, child support. So I kept the good guy role and I started being nice to the mother, whatever. But that shit didn't last long. Right? It is what it is with that. Now, this is the point where I know my daughter was doing certain things. Right? This is the mother. Hey, do you talk to your daughter about sex? Like, fuck it. I'm like, not too deep. We spoke about it, but not too deep. Because I wasn't comfortable talking to my daughter. Like, you deal with that. That's a woman. Right? And I'm like, why? She said, I'm just saying it's for a reason. I said, Serenity's not done what you mean. Just have another talk with her. So, apparently something happened. They kept from me. I didn't know. It is what it is. Right? Move on from that. Now, if I did something to my daughter on the 9th of February, why wait all this time if you was, whatever you had, I did to you, to now bring it out? Right? To now bring it out. So, because you felt like I was being too strict or too stern on you, you made up allegations with your mother. Because at first, your mother didn't believe this. Like, we had a conversation. When I got the call, March 7th, to leave work and come home, I walked in the living room. It was my mother, my sister, your mother's cousin, your mother, and my daughter. As soon as I walked in, my mother looked at me. Well, your daughter said, I said, what? I looked at my daughter and said, really? She bent her head. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where's your mother? Went straight to her mother. We were talking from the bathroom. Then we went downstairs. We had a conversation. I'm like, yo, something's wrong with this girl. Like, because I'm being too stern and doing certain things, you're going to make up these allegations. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, we're going to have to figure this out. We're going to have to look for help because this is every week is something and it's a lot. Like I said, I can't show y'all certain things because that's my child. I'm not going to do that to my child. That's my child. End of the day, I got to do the consequences. Right? And I'm like, this is not good. I sat down in that bed and I spoke to her mother. I said, listen, man, I'm not going to argue with you. You want to take your daughter? Take your daughter. Right? Take your daughter and we going to figure this thing out. Right? I put them in an Uber from Brooklyn to where they got to go. Right? If I would be guilty, I'd be like, yo, whatever. X, Y, and Z. I sat down there and I was just thinking like, you know, met my daughter when she was 3 years old. I thought I was being a good dad, but being a good dad is not all about money. It's actually about being there physically. I'm starting to learn that as I see that goes by. So I got to be a good dad for my other two kids to learn certain things. Granted, that text message that you guys see, right? I'm going to show you a trail or something and how the day played out, right? So here we go. Where is this? So this is the mother hit me this morning, the 7th, the day. when I'm able to put down a down payment on the house, will you co-sign for me? I said, not until I finish fixing my credit. Pierre, Virginia. I said, okay, I left it as that. This is the 7. Gonna call when I get off the train. All right? She never called me because I don't know where she was going, but this is the same day she's in cahoots with my daughter to plan to come to my crib because my daughter was at school, she had a half a day, which was very strange to me. It is what it is. Right? So she left my house about 2-something. They got home at this time. You know, the cousin was like, yo, this stuff is crazy. I was like, so I asked her, like, yo, what's up with your cousin? Like, you know, they have a conversation. We can talk about everything, whatever it is. She lashes out and says, stop calling her a liar. Your first step is to be honest with your family. You took her virginity. She's bleeding. You ruined your child's life. None of that, none of the sort ever happened. I've never, no. Anybody that knows me, no, never, never. Not in thoughts of mine. All right? Here we go. This message now that everybody is saying that, you know, I look like I'm admitting something. This is not me, and I'll be blunt, and whoever's going to believe me, whoever's going to dissect it how they want to dissect it, that's fine. It's all good by me. I'm stating my piece, and I know what's going on, right? When I wrote this message, it's me expressing myself, how I felt in general. I have to accept my faults. I have owned up to my wrongs. To you, my child, even my family, and I support and kids. There's nothing more I can say, but I will seek help because me and our mother had a conversation. Like, yo, we got to get therapy, right? That was the conversation, right? But I will seek help and fix things or leave Earth because I felt like I failed. Like, it's all every day since my daughter moved with me, it's an issue in school. It's an issue. So, like, why I brought her here with me? You know what I'm saying? This doesn't make any sense. But I still held it down to get alleged for these situations. Cool. So I sent this message because that's how I felt, right? And I said, in life, I know you feel betrayed. It's not your fault because I know you feel betrayed. It's not your fault. It's all mine. I can say that, says this is that I am sorry. I'm going for a walk because everything that happened, like maybe if I didn't discipline my daughter a kind of way, I wouldn't have been in this situation. She would have felt comfortable still, or maybe I was being too stern in whatever way she think I should have dealt with her. Cool, I apologize. At that point, like I said, I had other shit going on in my life. I felt like, yo, my life is in shambles. This is crazy. So I expressed myself. And that was that. Now, let's get down to the last part that I'm done with this until I do what I got to do and then come and show another part. And we're going to understand everything that's going on. You went to the DA and the detectives. You said I paid off the DA and the detective in your podcast that you made in April. After they told you the case is looking shaky. You said that I paid them off. Right? You called and reported the officer and the DA. They sat with you. They spoke to you and tell you, like, this is what you said. This is what's going on here. There's no case. This man didn't do this. You are not satisfied. If you look at what you sent code 33, 17 weeks ago. 17 weeks ago you sent this. Right? My thing is this. If you're trying to get justice for your daughter, why are you going on blogs? You said this is fair. You went to the police. After the fact, the first time your daughter told you something, she never came to my house. You should have went straight to the police, let them come for me, and then it would have been a different story. Right? We would have seen what was going on because they would have had to come from me. But you coming to my house doesn't sit right with me. Like, what are those allegations? I don't get it. If somebody do something to my daughter, they rape her, or whatever, I'm going straight to the police. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk about. Right? So because the DA called you and tell you that this case is X, Y, and Z, you're not satisfied, you're not happy, you're going on blogs. Right? I want you to understand something before I get off of here. At the end of the day, that's still my daughter. Regardless of how you feel and what allegations to me, that's still my daughter. She still has to be protected out here. Because people are going to see that and see her face, and it could be so negative, like kids tease her, all kind of crazy stuff. You're not like, so it is what it is, right? I didn't come on here to ask for sympathy from nobody because I know the truth. I've been dealing with this since March, and that's my personal business because it's something that's embarrassing, something that's not good. And me being the person I am, that's definitely a stash. That's like a big stash on my name. The damage is done now. It is what it is. It's all over the place. The damage is done. But ask yourself this, why haven't the police locked me up? Why didn't I go to jail X, Y, and Z with these allegations? If you look